here is a political situation, which is actually more than a political situation, it's a human situation, of several million people living in a circumstance that you would not want to live in for a few days, let alone for the whole of your life. This is directly the result of a set of political decisions which have deprived some people of their rights and given other people a lot of power over them. You can choose to ignore this and carry on with what you're doing. That's fine, because you might say, I don't understand it well enough to intervene. But you can also choose to at least signal some kind of concern over it and to say, I really don't like the smell of this. And you don't have to be any more specific than that. That's enough. That's enough to act upon, I think. I don't think I remember my very first time, but I remember my second time quite well. I played there with John Cale and Nico, I think in 1975 or something like that, in a quite unpopular concert that the three of us did together. It's one of those great cities that has always been a meeting point, a place where the sort of tectonic plates of cultures crash together and fantastic things come out. If everybody is ghettoized, then actually a lot of that culture building potential is lost, I think. Berlin isn't like that now. It was like that. At that time there was a huge divide in the form of a wall down the middle. I was in Palestine recently for a week or so, and Ramallah is a very exciting city. There was a feeling of a lot going on there, and there was a lot of joy there. Even the most lively and vital young people are excruciatingly aware of how limited their lives are. I mean, people were incredibly nice to me, making as though I was being heroic for being there, whereas I was thinking, you're quite heroic for living here. I know quite a lot about the effect of the separation wall. I know somebody who, a musician who got a place in a college in America, a very good college, and couldn't go because they weren't allowed a permit. It's done so casually and so thoughtlessly. It's sort of a slow form of torture to keep telling people, no, you can't do that. I very much dislike the use of culture for propagandistic purposes, and I think Israel does that quite a lot. In a quite subtle way, they use the sort of the glamorous cultural cachet of art to dignify what the state is doing. It's being used as a distraction, as a way of turning our attention away from a very brutal occupation. I think people have every right to say, well, this is a complicated situation, what would I know about it? And this, of course, is always used as one of the arguments for not getting involved. Oh, you couldn't possibly understand it, stay out of it. Well, one thing is very simple. There is a situation of clear oppression. It's not an equal situation. It's completely asymmetrical. I'm surprised that the March of Return shootings haven't been headline news for the last few weeks. It's incredible to me that a state that claims to be democratic and Western, if you like, can shoot unarmed, peaceful protesters. The first thing to do is to get people to agree that there needs to be a conversation. And I think BDS is achieving that. One of the things I learned from talking to South African friends who grew up during the time of the boycott there was that the main effect on them was to make them aware that there was a problem. It's often not until somebody from outside says, do you know what, this situation stinks, there's something wrong with this. It's not until then that you start to realise that there might be something wrong with it, and also that you might have some responsibility for doing something about it. If I were running this festival, I would want to take a position on this. I would want to say, I'm sorry, we don't want your money, because we're worried about where it comes from. So it is a whitewash, actually. Art is a powerful substance. It can be used for power. It depends whose hands it gets into. There's no reason why your art should survive that transition and not become a weapon in somebody else's hand. I've realized that a lot of artists believe that art is this sort of mysterious, powerful substance, and if you just bathe people in it, they will automatically become better. The two bands that played conspicuously in Israel last year, Nick Cave and Radiohead, both feel that people benefit from their art, and that to sully that with, to try to mix that up with politics is a mistake. What I would say to them is that it already has been mixed up with politics. It's not your choice whether that happens or not. It's already there in the political arena. So your choice is whether you let it stay there or withdraw it.